Hey, good afternoon. Listen, if you don't know me, my name is Patrick Reed. I'm with the team here in Cape Coral, Florida. I have been a real estate agent for a little over 22 years now, and today's really just off the cuff. There is no script that I'm going to be following. I'm just going to be talking to you one on one. Okay, and this is all about data. Okay, well, I don't want to say all about data, meaning if you're looking to buy or sell a home, you need to know what's going on. You need to know the data, and I have the data. Like I said, I've been collecting data for quite a while, and if you would like to have the data that I'm going to be showing here, you can go to reDataGuy.com. RE stands for real estate, so pretty much known as the real estate data guy here. But reDataGuy.com. Type your information in and it will be emailed out to you directly. All right. So if you would like to get in touch with me, you can get all of that information right there. All right, so let's just kind of hop into it. I'm going to be turning my back to you, so don't be offended from time to time, so I can read the graph off to you. All right, this first graph here, it is median sales price for Bonita Estero, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Lehigh. Over on the board, Bonita Estero, 642,000. Fort Myers, 420. Cape Coral, 390, and Lehigh Acres, 310. This data is from June, June's data, and I haven't updated my charts yet for the rest of for July. So when that comes out, I'll put out another video for you. All right. So if you have, by the way, if you have questions or comments, just put them in the comment section below. I'll be able to read the comments as we're going along. So if you have questions, please type it right in there, and I'll try to address it right away. All right. So as we're going along, you can see that the overall trend is trending down, right? So we've had several peaks throughout the years. I started the data back in 2019, and because I figured that was more relevant than anything. So you'll see, starting off with Lehigh, you'll see a kind of flat, but also kind of a downtrend. Okay, Lehigh has actually fared a lot better than a lot of the other cities here in the county. The Cape had a nice little swoop. Kind of peaked back in right around the beginning of January. Downtrended for a little while, and then we've seen some uptrends over the last few months or so, which is a great sign actually to have. Fort Myers, definitely a downtrend, and Bonita Estero, but for whatever reason, Bonita Estero has always been really kind of wacky, right? If you notice, a lot of peaks and valleys as we're going along, nothing really steady. So there you have it. Okay, here we have days on market. So that means how long is a home staying on the market from the time it's listed to the time that it's actually sold. And what we have here is median numbers, okay? So Cape Coral, 47 days. Lehigh and Fort Myers, 50 days. And Bonita Springs, Estero, 63 days on market. So you can figure our area is ranging anywhere from, call it 50 to 60 days, a couple of months on market, providing it's priced correctly. If your home is in sellers, I'm talking to you directly. If your home is not priced correctly, it's just going to sit, okay? And how do you get to know where you need to price your home? Well, I'm glad you asked. Call me, right? I have the data. I can help walk you through that whole process, okay? Not a problem. Next slide is active homes. So these are homes that are currently on the market for sale, Okay, the black line is all of Lee County. Uh, well, when I talk about all of Lee County, I'm talking about Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Lehigh, and Bonita Estero. Okay, so for those cities, we had a little bit over 6,000 homes. Cape Coral had about 2,200, Fort Myers about 1,800, Lehigh 1,500, and Bonita Estero had a little over 500. So now let's look at the trend. The overall trend of active inventory is sliding down. Okay, so what that means is that homes are either being terminated, withdrawn, or they're just simply expiring. But why is that? Again, sellers, it's about price. If you are not pricing your home correctly, you're going to be chasing the market down. So you need to, really the goal is to price your home correctly in the beginning, because if it's priced correctly in the beginning, you're going to see more activity in the beginning, and you won't have to go through as many price reductions, which means you don't want to be chasing the market down, okay? You want to be able to get your home sold for the correct price, okay? And then move on with your life, okay? But generally speaking, we're seeing downtrending in active inventory, which is also kind of a good thing, because now it's giving the buyers less to pick from. Now, these are all different price points, right? But it's giving the buyers less inventory to pick from. So that's kind of a good thing, because if there's less inventory, then pricing will start coming around the other way. But here's the next slide that you'll see. You'll see that we had a really nice spike at the end of January. Beginning of January, December area, where it really jumped up. But then for the last couple of months, we've been seeing a decline in sales, and that shows very evident for the cities that are over here. Nice increase in beginning of the year, but that's historically that is correct. If you notice here, January, we saw a rise. January, we saw another little bit of a rise, right? And again here, so right in and around the beginning of each year, we're going to see a rise in sales. Then summertime kind of tapers off a little bit. So is it a good time to buy a home during this time? Yes and no, right? Everybody has their opinion on that, but Cape Coral, over the last 20 years or so, they pretty much consistently sell anywhere between 400 to 500 homes, and sometimes more, sometimes less, but for the most part, they're pretty consistent in what they're selling. Interest rates, okay? Interest rates, if you kind of look back in 23 to 20 to 24, we're seeing in between 6 to 7% is pretty much where it's staying. Now, is it going to go below 6 and head into the 5s? I don't know. It would be great if it did, because it may trigger a little bit more sales in our area, right, for people that are ready to buy. But does interest rates really play a huge factor in whether someone buys or not? The next slide, I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove that statement, okay? All right, so just looking at some of the comments here. All right, so if you do have questions, stick them in the comments. Not a problem. I can reach out to you. If I don't reach out to you now, I'll reach out to you a little later. Okay, so next slide. This slide is how people are paying for their homes. Specifically, this is just cash, okay, because all of the others, conventional, FHA, VA, I have those on a different graph. It can show you where the trends are, but as I explain this, you'll be able to understand where I'm going with this. Okay, so again, we have them separated into the different cities, Bonita, Fort Myers, Cape, and Lehigh. Bonita had 46% of their sales in June were cash. Fort Myers 37%, 24% here in the Cape, and in Lehigh 7%. 7% of all their sales were cash. So let's pick on Cape Coral just for now, right? It was at 24%, but let's round it off to 25% just for easy numbers. What does that mean? That means approximately 75% of all the sales here in the Cape were through some kind of a mortgage, whether it's FHA, conventional, VA, okay? And they were okay paying 6.5 or in the 6 mark. Now, are they okay with paying that? Well, I don't know. But here, this definitely says that 75% of the sales were through financing, okay? So they were somewhat okay with paying that, right? So anyways, this is actually kind of a great slide to follow as we're going along, because what we're seeing here is downtrend in people paying cash. So the people aren't really willing to give up their cash to purchase the homes, because the homes are actually a little bit still too expensive. So there's a whole affordability problem, right? So when prices come down, people are a little bit more willing to pay cash for their home. So right now, they are willing to pay 6.5% for a mortgage. All right? All right. So, all right. So that was it. Quick, to the point. I hope you liked it. And if you are looking to buy or sell your home, you're going to need the data. Okay? I have the data. You can go right to redataguy.com and get the slides that I just showed you if you're interested. Okay. Listen, have a great day, and I'm going to come on and do this again because I think it's very informative to help people understand. And again, if you are looking to buy or sell your home, simply reach out to me. There's my contact information right there. Cell phone 239-691-7159. Okay. Thanks, and listen, have a blessed day.